Hello, my friends. How are you doing? Thanks for joining my live stream. Hi, Rainmaker. Thanks for joining. Simon Childs Photography. Okay, that's probably the name of your company or something like that. DV, hi. Thanks for joining from Denver, Colorado. Pretty cool. Hi, Leo from Holland. Thanks for joining. Awesome to have you here. Okay, so it's stream time again. Really looking forward to that. Always a good time. And yeah, there's a lot of new stuff happening in my Facebook group if you're in there, and also around that. So yeah, lots of stuff to talk about and things to do, reviews and stuff like that. Okay, pretty awesome. Hi, Brian from the UK. How are you doing? How's your day? Is it as hot in your region as here? Because here's like really hot all day long. Hi, Agnes from Holland. Hi, Oswald from Brazil. Pretty cool to have people from everybody around the globe. Really cool to see so many people have interest in learning photo editing and being creative and all these kind of things. It's really cool. Yeah, so yeah, always cool to see you. Yeah, has been hot in the UK. Okay, wow. Yeah, and it's like it's a lot more north than Vienna, so it's really like heavy that we have this like really hot summer right now. Pretty extreme. Hi, Leo. How are you doing? Hi, Danielle from Honduras. Wow, pretty cool. Lots of people here from all over the place. Hi, Brian from the UK. Alan, hi from Akron, Ohio, USA. That's awesome. Hi, Christian from Frankfurt. Thanks for joining. Upper 90 Fahrenheit. How much is that in Celsius? Let's see, 90 in Celsius. That's 32. Wow, that's pretty hot. Yeah, that is a lot. All right. Whew. I feel like it's getting hotter every year. I don't know. Hey, Pirotto from Norway. Thanks for joining. Hi, Colin from Cornwall. Thanks for joining again. Pretty nice to see all these people I already know also, these names. That's really awesome to see you here and, of course, in the Facebook group. So that's pretty cool. Hi, Flash from... Sholu. Hi, from Sevilla. How are you doing? Did you change your username? I thought you had like a profile picture and stuff like that. No? Okay. Olivio Day, no TV. Okay, thank you, Christian. That's really awesome. Yeah, okay. I hope it's as good as TV or Netflix, so that's pretty good. Hi, Agnes. Nice, nice of you to join. So pretty cool. All right. Yeah, I'm also like, I have to say, I'm kind of happy that now is like autumn is coming. It's not as hot, but also people are coming back to the channel. More people watching. It's really nice to have everybody together again and do amazing stuff together. That's really cool. Of course, summertime is also nice. I'm also enjoying it right now to go outside for a little cycle trip on the countryside, which is cool because there's no people around and still you can have fun. So it's pretty awesome. Better than the TV. That's awesome. That's really good to know. I always try to really give you really good stuff and like entertaining streams and good tutorials, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. So a lot of people joining, 30 people at the moment. That's pretty awesome. Thank you very much for everybody who is here. And yeah. By the way, some updates, like if you're in my Facebook group, I should link my Facebook group maybe for the people who are not here yet. So let's post a link in the chat. Probably my chat bot is also doing that at some point, but let's do this. Cool shirt. Yeah, I have to get more of these shirts. I really enjoy it a lot. I only have one. No, I have two of them. The other one is like yellow and bluish green, so it's not as good with the green screen, but this works great, and I really enjoy this kind of flower theme stuff like that, so I really should get more of that. Yeah, so thanks, dude. Just dude. Okay. So if you're in my Facebook group, like I made a call for people to help me, so that's one of the updates. I try to like get more connected to the community, also get the insight from the community. So right now I made a call for 10 people to help me. Like, I will create a second smaller Facebook group where we can talk about trends and things that are asked often and tutorials that could be interesting, because of course I can look at the posts myself, but of course it's better to have like an inside view of what other people like think or want, or like other kinds of perspectives. Everybody has their own approach to photography and photo editing, so it's really cool to have some people to talk about with that. And there will be a rotation, so it's these 10 people for now, and then probably a month later I will make a second call so other people can join in that, and we can have like different perspectives of that. By the way, one thing I really want to invite you to is so there, I think only one woman has applied for this yet. So if you want to, please apply for that, because I want to have different kind of views. Diversity is really important for that. And so if almost everybody is a man, it's not as diverse, if you know what I mean. And also, what is it I wanted to say? Oh yeah. You don't need to be an expert or anything about photo editing or photography, because I also want to have diversity in that kind of range, to have people who are complete beginners and people who are more along the way of learning photo editing, stuff like that. Because it's good to know, what does someone need who is just starting out? What do people need who have already done it a little bit or found their niche of what kind of photography they like? Stuff like that, so that can be interesting. Hi JB, thanks for joining. Thank you, Rainmaker. That's pretty cool. Did you? I'm not sure if the usernames are the same on Facebook and on YouTube, but post your like I wrote a little text. Read through that, please. And then I also wrote what to write there in the comments to give me a little bit of information about who you are and stuff like that. That's pretty good. All right. Hi, Marco. Thanks for joining. Another thing I want to tell you about is Simon Child. Oh, okay. Is there already a post from you here? Not yet. I don't see it. Okay. Okay, another thing I want to show you is I want to start a newsletter. Wait a second. How newsletter? There we go. And I invited you to join that, I think, in the Facebook group. I also sent out an email to everybody who has ever bought one of my products or downloaded it as a free version. And I think also I did it on YouTube. But I want to put it here in the chat again. So already like 790 people have joined, which is amazing. That's a pretty awesome number of people who are interested in that. But of course, it's always better to have the more the merrier, and it's really good to have a lot of people in there. Yeah, because it's good to have this kind of reach and give people all this kind of information. And it's also a good thing in the sense of, if you don't have time, and I can really understand you don't have time to follow up on all the things that I'm doing with the live stream, the mini live stream, the tutorials, the challenge, all these kind of things. It is a bit, is a lot for some people. So in the newsletter, you get like a little overview of what has happened in that week, like things that, like the newest videos, the newest stuff that has happened, insights also from the live stream, stuff like that. Oh, by the way, another thing I want to try, we could try that today. I'm not sure how well this works, but what I wanted to do is to make a Google Doc, and you could write in there, if you want, like the most important points of the live stream. So we can work in collaboration, and I could put that into the newsletter maybe, if that sounds like a good idea. I want to try it out if that works. Let's make a new folder here real quick. 1 second. Live stream docs. Okay. Okay, so let's make a text document. Let's call this recap a live stream 20 August 2020. All right. And then I should be able to share that to you. Viewer, editor. Okay. So technically, everybody with this link should now be able to write into that document. Have a look at it, see if that works. And then you can write in there whatever you think is important about the stream, take notes, stuff like that. It's good to have like different perspectives also on that. Work on Shift Basic. What does it mean? Shift Basic? Is that a software or something? Oh, you shift work. I understand. Okay, so I can't follow all the streams. Yes, also with time zones, stuff like that. People can't always be there if when this stuff is happening. So it's good to have kind of an overview of these kind of things. Yeah, I like the photo background. This is a picture we did in one of my live streams. I don't know when, like a month ago or something like that. So you can watch it in the live stream. By the way, I also have to rethink in my live stream one thing. I always use pictures from that I created in live streams before as the thumbnail for the next live stream. So when people try to find, hey, when did he create that picture, and they see the thumbnail, that is not the thumbnail where do the thing. So I have to kind of figure out another way, or maybe change the thumbnail afterwards so it has the picture that was created in that stream. Otherwise, this might be a bit confusing. All right. Okay. So that's, yeah, that's basically the newest updates for now. Okay. And also, I will do a lot of stuff in the group in the coming weeks. Like I want to create an online course that is more inclusive, more interactive, stuff like that happens in a dedicated Facebook group, stuff like that. So I want to figure out what kind of course would be what kind of course would be interesting for the community, what kind of pricing would be useful for that, how long should the course be. Like I thought 3 months in my brain sounds good, but maybe 3 months is too long for that. So maybe 1 month, 2 months, you know, like where you have like this kind of content, you get like exercises and videos and live streams to learn a certain process, and you have a time to follow it along and to post things and get feedback to that. So you need a certain amount of time to go through these kind of exercises. So should have some kind of what do I say, length of the course, if you know what I mean. And then like it's for a certain amount of time, and then afterwards we can do the same thing again or a different course, stuff like that. So I have to think about how to do that exactly. Yeah, and I want to ask you and to figure out how to do that. So there's a lot of plans. I want to get a lot more professional, a lot more organized with these kind of things. And yeah, just to give you really good content. Okay, sorry, I really broke into a monologue about all these new things right now, so I hope that's okay. Yeah. Okay, so big plans for the channel, for the group, for all these kind of things surrounding it. Lots of stuff going on. No coffee cup today. Pepsi. Not my sponsor, but I kind of like, you know what? Yes, the strangest thing, like the supermarkets around me, they don't sell Pepsi, but sometimes they have a sales activity where like for a week they sell Pepsi at a reduced price. I don't know what that is about, because if it's marketing, why would you make marketing for something that you usually don't sell? But what's the benefit for the company to give it away cheaper if you're not gonna get it afterwards for the regular price? So that doesn't make sense. I don't know, but it's good for me. I can once in a while I can buy Pepsi. That's good. Hi Antonio from Portugal. Thanks for joining. Pepsi Max is a downfall. I could drink 6 cans a day. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yesterday I drank, I actually bought yesterday, because I had so much taste for this Pepsi Max, I bought Coke Zero, and I drank a 2-liter bottle just sitting in front of my computer in one go. So yeah, I guess really addicted to that stuff. Maybe it's good they don't have it that often. It's like a company you work for. Yeah, sometimes they have really strange concepts about what they market. Okay, let's go and see the last exercise. By the way, this time I was smart enough to close the challenge before the stream starts, because so then there's no confusion. Okay, so let's switch over to the other screen. By the way, if you wonder why is there my name as a donation, this is I tested the function of my donation like pop up. There's like a little animation, and now there is a picture of my cat in there. So I hope that works right now. And when I click the test button, it makes like a test donation. So I didn't donate to myself. It's just like yeah, the test thing. Anyways, okay, let's switch over to. What do I have to switch over to? Work life. There we go. Boom. Okay. So I guess I move this over here. Don't try Red Bull. I'm not a Red Bull fan. I never liked the taste for some reason. It's really strange. I like all of the Kobe's, like the cheap ones you get for like 30 cents, stuff like that. And they have all these kind of amazing tastes because they try out a lot, you know, like you get... I don't know, what do you get? Lychee, and I don't like coconut because it tastes like sun cream smells. So that's really strange. But they have strawberry and cranberry, and recently I bought cherry blossom, which was kind of strange but also very nice, and peppermint and all these kind of things. And Red Bull is kind of boring in the way they don't really have much in that sense, right? They only have Red Bull, and then they have Red Bull Cola, but they don't play around with tastes. So the only thing I think they have is like this kind of original bubblegum taste, I think. Is it bubblegum? I'm not sure. All right. Let's have a look at the exercises. So a lot of people took part here in that. And thank you for posting the before and after pictures. A lot of people did extra work, extra like additional tasks in there. So that's also pretty nice. Is anybody... No, right now there is no writing here. Some people are in here, that's pretty good, but no important points right now, so that's okay. Okay, so let's look at this. So Sabine did the first entry, so it's pretty cool. And she did a lot of work for this one, so that's pretty amazing. So, and first, when I looked at this, I thought, hey, that's an interesting picture of a dog at the beach. And then I looked at the original picture, and I thought it's going to be the same thing. But she did really a lot of work. You can see here, this is the picture with the dog. And then she has this of the, how would you say, walking path? I don't know. And some clouds in here. So all of that is pretty amazing. And yeah, that is very nice. To how she put that together. Also very nice selection of the grass here. You can see a really detailed selection. So good job on that. And the selection down here, back here didn't work as well. And the clouds look a little bit like paper. So maybe because if you look at this picture, the background is very blurry here. I would suggest that probably the clouds would also be very blurry. So you can mix that to get it to the same degree of blurriness and see if that looks good in the picture. I really like the colors that you added to this. So if you have the original picture, which is this one, and if you don't know, the quest this time was, the challenge was to create a cinematic look for that. So like kind of a movie look. And the interesting thing is like these film looks, they have kind of a special vibe, a special feel to them. And if you look like here with these normal photos, they feel more real. And the cinematic look is more like this kind of fantasy, not fantasy world, but like this movie world, this film world, this like dreamed up world, basically. And I think this comes kind of good across here because it's kind of a different feeling. You know, it's not like the colors and the kind of feel you expect from just a picture. It's more like this kind of film look. So that's pretty nice. Also with this classic font here for the title. The two fonts don't mix that well, but that wasn't part of the exercise. That's okay. And also maybe a little advice. You should try to put the text where there is not that much going on in the background. So you can see like in the sky here, There isn't much going on in the back, and you can see the text pretty good. And also here is not much going on. You can see it good. But here it already gets a little bit complicated to read the text because the grass is very like buzzing and has a lot of different contrasts and details. So it's hard to read there. Also here, it's kind of harder to read because the text is bright and the foam from the sea is also bright. So that might be a problem. Yeah. And of course, this kind of widescreen format helps a lot to have this kind of cinema feel and kind of nudges it into that kind of understanding. Oh, okay, this is kind of a film thing that's happening here. So that's really, really good work. Maybe, again, work on the background and maybe position the text a little bit different so it's where you can read it. By the way, a little trick is if you don't have any place to put it and the background is noisy, put a little bit of shadow below it, you know, because then you have a little bit of a darker edge around it and it makes it a lot easier to read. And also the eye understands that the text is floating above another element, basically. So the eye basically puts it on a different plane and it's easier for you to read the text. So that can be a very easy way without creating like outlines or stuff like that around the text. Okay, so that was the first one. Very nice work, pretty cool. The next one here is from Fidi. Is it Fidi or Fedi, or I don't know how to pronounce that. So again, here we have the original picture, and you can see like how these are realistic colors, and it looks like, yeah, okay, that's a photo of this kind of situation. Again, he or she did an extra task by putting this landscape in here, this one, into the phone. So that's pretty nice. But you can see how this has a very different feeling, a more filmic feeling, a more like cinematic feeling. It has this kind of storytelling element in there. You feel more like you are watching a story playing out rather than something that is happening in the real world. And I think a big differentiation on that is also that maybe you can say like every day is kind of trivial in the things that are happening around us because we experience them all the time. And so putting it into another color scheme and having it more like a film look puts it kind of on a pedestal. So even like usual normal moments like this, a phone lying on a table, suddenly feels more special and interesting, you know. So this can, and this is why often they do it also with films and stuff like that, that they make this kind of color grading and bring a special kind of element in there because it feels more important and has kind of a story behind it, you know. So that can be very helpful compared to this again, which is the normal colors, and it just looks like an everyday phone lying on the table. It's nothing special. And here's something like there's some kind of a story in there, you know. So that's pretty nice, and it just comes from the color. So that's very interesting. All right, so thank you very much, Fidi, for that. Let's go to the next one, which is this one, which is also very nice. Let's compare to the original picture, which is this one here. And again, you can see like how big the difference is between one that has a different kind of color that is also thought through and like designed in the way it is rather than the normal color you get from that kind of situation. And also this cut in the widescreen format. You know, you see here you have a lot of information in there. It's also a nice picture, of course, but here it's more focused on the important elements. So you're really focused on the rays. It feels more dramatic and dynamic, and you feel like it feels a lot more like things are actually moving in there, while this is kind of more static and kind of unrelated. You know, it's just a picture of a race. And here, because of the color and the way it's set up as kind of a movie, how do you say, movie still, it feels like, okay, there is kind of a story. Is there some, maybe, I don't know, a crime story? They kind of bribed one of those jockeys or something. It's kind of, you feel more like a story is going on. So it's very nice work also. Very good. I like that. It's more like this. It has a little bit of a sepia touch in there, so it's warmer and looks a little bit more like vintage, like a kind of a little bit of analog touch in there. So that's also very nice. Gives a good feeling. Hi, Volkmar. Thanks for joining. Good to see you here. Yeah. All right. By the way, use the smileys if you want to. Let's put one in here of my cats. There we go. Boom. Okay. All right. Let's go on. So thank you, Eileen. Very good work. Very nice. I like the way you cut the frame, and the color is very nice in here. And the vintage style. I always like vintage stuff. Okay. Here we have one from Martin. It's the first attempt. And one thing that stood out to me, even if it's small, is that you can really see the vignette here. So you want to look at that. And that's often something that can happen because you don't see it while you edit. But if you come back later with a fresh eye, you often, or a fresh view, you often see that better, that you see here really this line. So that means simply make the edge more blurry, so there is a softer gradient from the bright part to the dark part in there. Yeah. Off topic, but 16:4 or 4:3. Well, 4:3 is the classic TV format, and 16:9 is the format now. And then you have all these kind of movie formats that even like more extreme. My phone is, I think, 20:9, which is even more extreme. I think like it's even more. I read online it's 20:9. So there's a lot of different formats. But the cinema look is more like 16:9 or even thinner, like even wider, like the kind of the movie experience you have, you know. And yeah, so this is already kind of square from the cut. Even on these kind of, I think this is maybe 4:3. I'm not sure. But if you had these kind of old movies, you can remember like you had these black bars on top and below to make the film a little bit wider than it usually is. To get more of the cinema in there, they still had to cut a little bit of that because otherwise you would have like really big black bars. But yeah. So look out for this kind of problem with the vignette to make it soft enough. And the colors are interesting. I think like the scene could be maybe a little bit better in that kind of like to select a photo that it has more of a kind of a focus in there to know what is going on, because here this also has the problem that in the picture you don't really know where to look. Is it about the horse carriage, or is it about the woman standing here with the rose, I think, in her hand? Could also be about the building in the background. So there's a lot of possibilities in here, and to just give it a bit more focus in the kind of picture. Maybe let's say if it's about the horse carriage and the woman, have her stand in front of the horse carriage and maybe photograph it a little bit on the side angle, so you have like this is it 3/3? What is it called? This kind of side view, like you often see with car pictures. Let's go to Unsplash real quick. Car. Like this. This is a bit more dynamic, you know? If you have the horse carriage in this kind of, from this kind of angle, and she's standing in front of it, maybe smelling on the rose, so you have a connection between all of these elements. And yeah, that's pretty easy. You just like walk a little bit over, and you have a much better, much clearer picture of the story that's going on in the photo. Of course, it's often like the first kind of reaction is to just take a picture where you are, but it's good to search a little bit around and think about the composition of the picture. Rule of thirds? No, I didn't mean the rule of thirds. I mean, like, I can't remember what this is called if you have it a little bit from the side, this kind of little bit rotation. Never mind, but you know what I mean, this kind of thing. All right. Okay, so thank you very much, Martin. I hope the feedback helps with that. Okay, let's go to the next one. From Agnes. Hey, Agnes. Hi, thanks for joining. This is the original picture here. Okay. Interesting, cool picture with a drone. Is that a Mavic Air 2? Or something like that? Looks pretty awesome. So very nice. I need to fly more with my drone, by the way. I've bought it and then I've took like 5 pictures. in the meantime, I don't really, because you can only fly in, I'm in the city, you can only fly in the morning at 5 in the morning or 7 in the morning. I don't get up that early often. And now I want to get a driver license. I don't have a driver license either, so I can't go to the countryside to the cool spots. So let's go back to Agnes' photo before I get super sidetracked here. This is a really nice edit. I really love the colors in this one. I really love this kind of soft blur that makes it a lot more dreamy, and it brings so much atmosphere in there. So that's a really, really nice one. And of course, you know, I'm a huge fan of pink and violet, and yeah, those are just my colors. So that is really, really nice. And you can see how, again, how different the feeling is from this scene, which is just a normal scene. It's a very nice picture, but it's just a normal scene, to this picture, which has like a whole world in there of emotion and story and connectedness. And a picture is very much about giving emotion and kind of a story to the viewer. So to guide them and to tell them something is basically the main task of a photo. And more often than not, what you want to do with the picture is to tell your story. It's not about what is going on there, unless you are a photographer for a documentary or a magazine or stuff like that, then it's just about what's going on there. But most of the time you want to convey your emotions or what happened to you there, or some kind of feeling or memory or story that kind of is important to you. And colors and composition are really important for these kind of things. Yeah. From the Gradient pack. Oh, pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. Mavic 2 Pro. Wow, really nice. I still have my small one, the Mavic Mini, so still on the starter baby drone, but it's pretty good. I really like it. The only thing I don't like about it is you can't do RAW photos, but I think there might be an app coming out that gives you more ability and maybe even RAW pictures with that. Okay, so very nice job. Very cool. And yeah, that's pretty good. Here's the next one from Niels. And with this one, I'm a bit confused because there's this picture and then there's this picture with the black bars. But I might be like wrong, but it seems to me like it's exactly the same colors. Yeah, it's exactly. So you didn't do any kind of color change to the picture. Or maybe you did a color change, but then you posted as the like before picture, just the same picture with the bars. Took the wrong picture without the frame. Ah, okay, so I didn't read the text. Sorry. Whoa, my phone needs to be silenced. 1 second. Sorry about that. For that. There we go. 3 hours. That's good. Okay, so both of them are the same picture, but just this one has the black frames around them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. Really nice, dreamy atmosphere again. I really like that. I also like the kind of... it would be nice to see the before picture, but I really like the thought of these different areas. You can see like here you have these shadow areas and they have like a cooler blue. Vibe, and then you have these more sunny areas that are really warm, not too hot, but a nice summer, lovely, warm feeling. And she is like sitting right here on the border, and some parts of her have this kind of warm summer feeling, and some parts are more in the shadow. So that's really a very nice composition, and also use of color to bring out these different elements of the picture. And also this kind of contrast can be very helpful to make some parts wait, I'm missing some words again. 1 second. I think I already know the word. Intentionally a bit cooler or a bit warmer, to have a certain contrast in there, so to highlight a certain element of the picture. You know what I mean? So if you can make certain parts feel warmer by making other parts intentionally cooler than they have been in the original picture, or the other way around, stuff like that, if you know what I mean. So that can be very helpful, and also to contrast things, you know. Yeah. So for example, I think I did that with the picture I from this kind of temple I showed you. Did I do that where like the building in the foreground is more has a colder blue in there because the background is pretty warm with the sunset? I'm not sure if I did that or not. But that would, for example, also make sense to separate elements from each other. Okay, so that's very nice. Pretty cool. Thank you for that. Niels, very, very good work. Also amazing picture. I like the softness in the blur here, and you have a little bit of sharp elements here and where she's sitting, and then before. And this is also nice here. You have a very subtle like elements in the foreground with this grass, which is very blurry, but still you see that there is this kind of first layer, and she is the middle part, and then you have this distant layer here in the background that's also blurry again. So there's a lot of space and room in there that you can like feel into. So that's really nice to have that also. Okay, pretty cool. There we go. Next one is by Peter. I ruined my wrist, my brain, my everything. Couldn't do it like you did it. Oh, okay. Exclusion didn't work. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, for some people, for some reason, it doesn't really work the way I did that. So that's pretty interesting. We can look at that later to see, maybe to explain it a little bit better. And oh, and you also did something with NIK Collection here. And this is the original photo. So let's open these up individually so we can compare them. So I think, wait a second. This is the original picture. Again, you can see how big the difference is between just a normal picture and then bringing in these different kind of color vibes. So like here, very nice also. And this is like, this is what I like about NIK Collection. These are you have this kind of feeling, you have these kind of specific colors that you feel this kind of analog vintage vibe that's in the NIK Collection colors. I really like that. That is pretty awesome. So yeah, and you can see how this separates out the different elements in this case. You see, like here, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of different colors, all these kind of things. And then here, it's easier separated because you have these blue values most of the time. And then you have some orange values, but all of them are very kind of similar. You feel like they are the same orange, but just a little bit darker or brighter, but they are in the same kind of value. While here, there's a lot of stuff going on with all these kind of green and red, and they all, the thing is also, all of the colors in this original picture, they have the same kind of importance. They compete with each other, they fight with each other, and it's so much noise in there all of a sudden that you don't really know where to look or what is going on. And then by separating them out, you can see how much space there is suddenly, and how much this picture is more relaxed because of that. It's basically also what you do when you mix sound, you know, like with mixing sound, you try to like get only the character of this bass sound, and then of this lead sound, and then of this kind of pad sound, to separate them into their individual frequencies so you can hear them individually, and it's a lot clearer, and there's not all this kind of overlapping going on in your head, in your ears. And the same happens with pictures and with colors, basically. So if you have any, like if you do something with sound, maybe that's a good explanation also what is going on here. Let's look at this. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So I like this actually better because it's a lot clearer, but this is also nice. It's a lot like, it feels like this version, but more dark and a lot warmer. So it's, what I like about this one is the sky that really comes out a lot more here, a lot intenser and more dramatic. But I like really the clarity of this one, to be honest. What's your feeling? What's your kind of view on that? Which kind do you like better? Yeah. Is this stretched out a little bit, maybe? Or is it just cropped differently? Because I feel it's like the exact same elements. Like here with this kind of, there's a little bit of that element here. And you still have it here. So the second one feels like it's just stretched a little bit to make it wider. But it doesn't look stretched at the same time, so kind of strange. Oh no, maybe it is, because this is thinner, this element here. That's pretty interesting. You like the dark one better, Agnes? Okay, interesting. Hey, Volkmar. Hi from Bavaria. Thanks for using the smileys. I'm not sure if they're a good idea. Maybe it's like, I don't have the community for goofy smileys. I don't know about that. Yeah, I thought they are fun, but yeah. Hi, Oliver. Thanks and greetings to Schleswig-Holstein. Thank you for joining. The vignette is very obvious on the dark one. Yes, it is. You see, like here, there's again this kind of border here. So it's kind of, it's not that easy in Affinity Photo with the vignettes. NIK Collection makes it a bit easier, I feel like, to make a good vignette that also feels like an actual vignette. So yeah, pretty interesting. Okay, good. Okay, thank you, Peter, for this one. Let's go on to the next one. Hi, Kathleen from Minnesota. And, oh, what's her name? I think I have read this before, and I didn't know how to. Allowed silence. Okay, this is what it is. From the UK. There's a lot of people from the UK today. Hi, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. Awesome. Okay, so let's go on to the next picture. I have to close some stuff here. We have too many layers. Oh, for everybody who's new, reminder, I now have a newsletter, so please join that to get a really good overview of what happened throughout the week, stuff like that. Hey, JSB, thank you very much for the donation. Let's see if the thing works. Does it work? Please work. Come on. Why? I tested it before the stream and now it doesn't work again. That is so strange. Oh no, there it is. Ah, yes, it works. Ah, there is my thing there. So now you can read it a little bit better. There we go. Oh, awesome. So a photo of Pelusa. Takes a little bit long. Okay. Where was this photo taken? Which photo do you mean? This from Peter? I don't know. You have to ask him. If Peter is in the stream, maybe you can post it in the chat where this was taken. I'm not sure. So thank you very much for the donation. Really enjoy that. Thank you for the support of my channel. Hi, Hamish from Inverness. Thanks for joining. Awesome. Yeah. So if Peter is in the chat, if you can write it there, if you want to, that's awesome. Because I don't know. We could. Do you know there's like this online game that people play with their community where you get like pictures. It's like Street View, and then they have to figure out where they are. And you can't look on the map. You only have Street View, so you have to read the signs and stuff like that of the location. So yeah, that would be interesting. I like this kind of detective stuff. Is sometimes pretty cool to do. All right. Good. Let's go on to the next pictures. Thank you very much, Peter. So here is one by Norma, but I'm not sure if this applies to the exercise. Recovering no longer isolated me Linux lens. I don't. Maybe you wanted to post it in the group and posted it in there instead under the challenge by accident or something like that. Not sure. Oh, in Hamburg. Oh, okay. Museum Hafen Övelgöne. Okay. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Okay. Ah, interesting. Very nice. Pretty cool. Yeah. By the way, what are these, this kind of mini lighthouse here? What is that? It looks like it's like maybe 5 meters high or something. It's like really tiny. Is that... Or maybe like if the land is flat around it, you don't need to have a large lighthouse. But I've never seen a small one like that. It's pretty interesting. Okay. So I'm not sure if this is part of the exercise. Let's go on to the next one by Marco. Hey, Marco, I think you're in the stream. Thank you very much. For the challenge. Oh, again, a combination of different pictures. Let's have a look at this. Okay, pretty cool. So it's just the horse and just the background and then bringing it together. Hey, Marco. Hi. Thanks for joining. Okay, pretty awesome. So this is the combination. Oh, and you even did some extra editing here. So that's pretty cool. So you can see like here, you have the woman on the horse and the landscape, and here it's brought together. But in this case, it doesn't completely fit the ambient light, stuff like that. And here it fits a lot better with all this kind of adjustment on there. And she's a little bit desaturated because she's inside of the fog. So she has less contrast, of course. So that's pretty nice. Works very well together. Also with the perspective, that's pretty good. It's very nice. Very nice combination. Very nice also feeling, this kind of mysterious, foggy kind of, it kind of reminds like these kind of, what is it called? The Hounds of Baskerville. Sherlock Holmes kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, very nice edit. Very nice combination of these two elements. So it looks really nice and realistic. Pretty cool. Very good work. Yeah. A small old one. Okay, interesting. Didn't know they had something like that. Okay, pretty cool. So thank you very much, Markov. You could maybe, like, just if you want to, like, have it more widescreen, cut a little bit more of the sky up here. That would be possible to make it more widescreen and like getting closer to the scene itself. Just from the feeling, not the width, just the height a little bit, but it's also cool as it is like right now. So it's pretty cool, very nice. Okay, let's go on to the next one by Lars. Oh, okay, interesting. Always I see like these motorhomes, I think about Breaking Bad. It's kind of like burned in there from just this show. This is from Lars. Thank you for posting that. So wait a second, let's close this. This is the before picture, and you can see how much atmosphere comes through adjusting the color. It's really amazing. Like this is a nice picture, but it's just like an old motorhome standing there, and then you have this, and it feels like there is a story, a film, some kind of, again, like Breaking Bad or something like that. It feels more involved, like something special is happening. There is some kind of, I don't know. Maybe also because this is so dark and it feels a little bit like sinister, maybe zombie apocalypse or stuff like that. So yeah, interesting. Huh. Okay, pretty nice. Thank you for that. Also very nice crop around the motorhome. Yes, absolutely. I hope it was long enough. It was a little bit quick, but I didn't know what else to say. It's a really good work. So thank you for that. Yeah, so this is really nice. Let's look at the original again. Why does it say gun sales? That's a pretty strange word combination. Gun sales. What's a gun sale? Okay. Oh, there says also gun here. Uh-huh. So maybe they put that sticker on later on. Gun sales. Is that a band maybe? Let's check this out. Gun sales. Windsurfing. Oh, there's a interesting. Okay, so maybe your old surfer caravan. Interesting. Good. All right, let's go on to the next one. Oh, the one thing I wanted to say is, this is pretty cool, especially if you think about it as a movie still of just capturing the scene. If it's just a picture, I would maybe leave a little bit more space below and above, so it has a little bit more space to breathe. But if you see it as like a movie scene, to have it like that, the edges that near to the object is also okay, because it could be like in the middle of zooming onto the caravan, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, has kind of this film look in it, so that's very nice. Here's the next one from Carol. Let's have a look at that. So this is the original. Okay. Old withered house. And this is the new version, which is very nice. Really like it. Like this dark, cooler vibe in there, more dramatic. Again, kind of this, a little bit maybe apocalypse or kind of some drama going on there style. I would maybe have made it a little bit more dramatic from the colors, maybe a little bit darker and a little bit like, I'm missing the words again. Giving you more the feeling of kind of being isolated and lost in this kind of feeling because it fits kind of the story here of the picture. But it's going into that direction, so that's pretty cool. If you want to do that, that's pretty okay. If you want to do it in that style, that's okay also. What does she say, by the way? Carol says, I wanted to try to create an abandoned building from a paranormal type genre film. Oh, interesting. This building's effect of abandoned, so... okay. The garden hose and other tools from the windows. Oh, you even did a little bit of editing to remove some parts from the windows. So this kind of stuff here. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Okay, cool. Let's see. Paranormal movie scene. What would you normally have as a color here? Yeah, so this is this kind of darker blue. And green also, like this kind of course, these are all from the movie Paranormal. So maybe that's not ideal right now. Yeah, but also these movies here, they have this kind of more blue, kind of desaturated bluish kind of feeling. Like more kind of bleak world feeling. Yeah. Okay. This what is this? Behind the scariest film. Okay, interesting. Huh. Yeah. It's like a good idea they called the movie Paranormal, but because now if you search for paranormal movies, it's always like the first thing you see is their movie. So it's pretty interesting. Also here you have like an older kind of film, more kind of green. In there, so that's pretty interesting. It's good to compare these to different kind of films, and also what was the setting of the film, what kind of vibe did it want to have in there. There's also this kind of darker blue in here, for example, so that's pretty interesting. So you can compare it to that and to the story of the movie, because they chose the colors and the look of the movie to fit that kind of story, so you can learn a lot of that from that to create your own kind of stuff. And yeah. Also, I think this is from Ghost Story, which is more like it's a ghost movie, but more in a fun way. Not like Ghostbusters, but also kind of a little bit more like in this goofy way. And so this more colorful setting really makes sense for that. Is it also from Paranormal? I don't know. But the Ghost movie also has what is it called? Ghosts or something? Let's give this in. Ghosts. No? Oh. With the child. What was it called? There's this child and she's sitting in front of the TV and holding her hands against the TV. Ghost Story. No. What is the name of that movie? It's pretty famous. It's a bit older. No idea what the name of that is. I thought it was just Ghost Story or something. Is it that? Ghost Story? Poltergeist. Poltergeist. Yes, absolutely. Poltergeist. Thank you. Poltergeist. There we go. Oh, it's also very dark blue. This is such a great scene here. Right here. This kind of cover for that. But the movie itself, I think this is from the movie. It's a lot more colorful and a lot more kind of this goofy style. Also this here with her and stuff, you can see how colorful this is. So it's not that kind of dark, super scary movie. It's more like a fun horror movie. But they made the cover in a completely different style and very like iconic, I would say. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the pictures. So thank you very much, Carol, for that. Let's close some stuff here. Leave that open. Close this. Oh, okay. Arichit, thank you very much for posting that. Oh, very nice. So this is the original picture here. Okay, and then you changed a lot about that, so that's pretty interesting. That you only have, it's like maybe a little bit very dark around her, but with these kind of sun rays coming from up there, these kind of God rays towards her, that is very nice. Yeah, it may be the to have the not the contrast, but you know, like to have her face a little bit brighter and maybe in the same color as the sunlight. So either adapt the sunlight or this kind of God rays to the color of the light on her face, or change the light on her face a little bit. And like if you have this kind of more high contrast situation here where this side is really dark, it's good to paint in here some lights, which is not that easy, but if you play around with it a little bit, you get a good grasp of it really like quick, I think. And then it's more, you have a lot more dramatic kind of feeling in there, especially with this kind of light. And yeah, I did some of this light painting in my, let's go to my Instagram real quick. Instagram.com, there we go. Did I? Oh, I have to sign in. There we go. I deleted all my cookies today, so I have to sign into everything again. Here in this picture, when you look at that, I painted these kind of highlights here and then a little bit of the shadows down here into there to have more of this kind of blue light from the, what is it called? Patronus effect on the ground. You see here and there and stuff like that, to just put it here in a soft way. And it looks pretty good. It's kind of not that hard to do it. You have to try it a little bit, but then it's okay to get that in there. All right, and it makes it a lot more dramatic than without that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. A very nice idea also to have this kind of these God rays coming from up here, and using this kind of light situation to just make it a lot more intense than it is in the original picture. So that's very nice. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for that. Pretty cool. Some light from inside. Oh, that's a good idea also. Like here, if you make maybe one of these have a light in there or something, that could also be good. But I guess for that, it has to be maybe a bit darker to have really like a night kind of feeling in there, to make it more real that you actually have like a bright window in there. Okay. Let's go to the, how many more do we have, by the way? Oh my god. Okay. How long do I stream already? 59 minutes. Okay, so I should speed up maybe a little bit. So this is from Narel. Is that the right pronunciation? Probably not. Something could be any area. Choose a. With people participate in the live river, although the rowboat is not from the era. To do weekly in order to learn Affinity Photo. I'm not very good at that. Don't worry. Okay, pretty cool. So I'm not sure about what you mean with the boat. Did you add the boat to the picture, or was it already in there? It's kind of hard to say. Okay, maybe you added it because it's like color-wise a little bit different, but it could also be in there. I'm not sure. Okay, and this is then the color change, which is very nice. Very interesting colors. I feel like in this picture, like the process is nice and the colors are there. I'm just like in this case, maybe like before, the thought about what do you want to express with the colors, what kind of feeling is in there. Because the colors look nice, but they don't lead to a special kind of connection to the situation that is around that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So what kind of feeling are they conveying in this kind of situation? That would be kind of, or what are they changing about the picture that you want to tell about that? So that would probably be a good thought to think about that. Again, you can look at movie screens from films you like, and what kind of story do they have, and how do they use colors to bring that story and this kind of emotion alive in the picture. So that could be a good thought. But other than that, I really like the colors that are in there. The vignette is apparent again. Oh yeah, it is. I didn't see that. That's true. Yeah. So you have a really strong vignette here, especially here in the sky. So yeah, good point. I didn't actually look at that. I was so kind of captured by the colors on the columns here that I didn't really look up here in the sky. So that's true. And you can see it if you make it smaller. You really see this kind of ellipse shape here on top of the picture. So just make it more blurry. Yeah. And again, like if you want to have this more like movie kind of feel, you could cut a little bit of the water down here and maybe a little bit of the sky to just get it a wider screen, and then automatically it feels more like a movie style. Do you have a tutorial on depth of field tool? Should I make a tutorial about that? Is that a good idea? I could do something like that. I will write that down. I don't think I have one yet, so let me put that in my list. Oh god, I have to also log in here. 1 second. Where's the login button? Google? Yes, there we go. Okay, cool. There's my tutorial list, and then all right, so I put that in there. I can make a tutorial about that soon. Yeah, we can also talk about today after the this talk here about what kind of tutorials would be interesting. Yeah. All right, so that's pretty cool. I hope the feedback helped with that. And yeah, it's still a very nice edit. So thank you very much for that. And like I said, always like go on the internet, like Google or Pinterest, and search for different kind of scenes and see what other artists have done, what kind of style you want to have. Or you can analyze artists you like, photographers you like, or movies you like, stuff like that, and take notes from that and look into that. Also, there's like good YouTube channels about that. Wait a second. I think let's go to YouTube real quick. I think one of them, for example, is a Nerd Writer. Is he called Nerd Writer? Yes, this guy here. So he makes good videos about, I think, movies. I'm not sure. And like watching some of those is like really interesting to understand how artists tell a story, why there are certain processes in art, in creativity, stuff like that. For example, here, that's pretty good. How to come from this classic painting to this kind of Jackson Pollock drip art style. How did art arrive there? And it gives you a big understanding of why things happen in a certain way, why they arrive in a certain way, why they are still important like that. And yeah, a lot of these things. And often it seems like there is some strange stuff going on, especially in art, because if some things become very abstract, or we become very used to them, it's kind of that we lose the connection to them, and or they, better said, they lose the connection to us. So it's really hard for us to understand that. And these kind of films like this guy, Nerd Writer, they give you a good understanding. They connect it back to the things, and often it's really easy to understand what is going on in there. And also these channels, they have really how do I say, they are really on a mission to give you an actual real understanding of the subject, because there's other like more sensational shows and channels and stuff like that. They talk a lot of garbage about these kind of topics, just to like be clickbaity and get a lot of attention, but they often make connections that are completely not true in how things actually work or why they arrived at a certain stage that we see right now. So these kind of channels are pretty good. So you should check that out. I will put that actually in the chat. Where did I put the chat? 1 second. Boom. There we go. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you speak German, I have another thing for you. It's called Radio Wissen. It's a podcast. I listen to that almost every day. This one here, Radio Wissen. You can have it on Google Podcast app or any kind of other app. And they have a lot of interesting shows in here about all kinds of topic. You see like Maria Theresia and I don't know. Also animals, why do animals glow and all these kind of things. So it's very much all over the place with the topics, but it's always interesting. You always learn a lot of stuff in there. This one about Delphi was really interesting and stuff like that. And about writers and photographers, and there's a lot of stuff in there, so you can also check that out. Maybe let me also link that for the German-speaking part of my community. There you go. That could also be interesting. Okay, let's go back to the actual reviews of the picture. It's getting sidetracked again. Okay. All right, so we have here the original picture with this. Wow, really nice graffiti. Very cool. Why did you also photograph this part here? With the guy walking and stuff instead of just the graffiti. It's interesting. Okay. What is 3? It's not tunes because there's no E here. Tons? Tunes? What is that? Real ale? Good food? And live music. I can use that right now. Good food and an ale would be good right now. Okay, let's have a look at the picture. You put in some grain, so that's pretty cool. So you have some film grain in there. I'm not sure a lot of people put in some film grain, which also helps with the kind of film look. So that's pretty nice. Also nice dark colors in there. Again, it's like to think about what kind of thing do you want to bring out there with the colors, maybe. So, like I said, the colors look nice, like with the last picture, but I'm not sure how they connect to the scene or what they bring out, how they change that. But it has this kind of film vibe to it, so that's pretty nice. That's very interesting to have that in there. And I like the that you put in the film grain to think about that. You could have maybe cropped it in a different way to maybe cut some of these parts that you don't need, or something else. Depends on what you want to show in the picture. Oh, it's an old beer barrel. That's interesting. Okay. Thank you, Colin. Interesting. I always learn something new. That's really awesome. Okay. Pretty cool. Yeah, very nice. Okay. Yeah, so you could maybe crop this a little bit different. So maybe you have only the graffitis in here, or maybe the guy walking out of the scene still at the edge, but maybe just this part or something. That could be interesting. Yeah. Very interesting edit. So thank you very much for that. You also have the thing with the... they always look so angry, right? This kind of where the parent is just pulling the child to come with them. It always looks like a kind of an angry situation. It's never kind of a nice thing. We also have this in Germany. It looks a little bit different here, where you have this kind of dad and the child wants to pull away from him. You know, so this is very kind of strange science. Okay. Oh, Vincenzo, thank you very much for that. Pretty cool. I think you're also in the stream right now. Yeah. Good. Let's go on. By the way, also here is kind of a big question of should you remove these kind of elements here or not in pictures? Like you could clean up the wall to make the building nicer because there's all this kind of stuff on here that kind of is more irritating, but at the same time you could think like maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's part of like how it is. Why should you change that too much? So that's also kind of an interesting question or discussion about photography. Should you remove these elements or not? So that's pretty interesting. Okay, thank you very much. Let's go on to the next picture. Wow, okay, so this is more like a vintage on top of vintage, basically. So this is already, the original picture is very vintage, and then this one is even more vintage. So this is the original one. Okay. And then this is the, hey, this, like, old times. Have you seen, like, in the last 10 years, a phone book anywhere? I don't think I've seen, maybe in a hotel or something. But they are, like, back in the day, you got sent these. How often did you get this? Once a year, or was it every 5 years? I can't remember. But you get this from your city, and now they are gone. There's nobody has them anymore. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. There's also this very intense vignette. So maybe I didn't do a good job in my tutorial to explain that. To create this. Carlos says it feels like it was every year. Yeah, I think it was every year, right? Once a year they brought out these like really big books. So you have all the numbers in there. Business phone book delivered. Really? Okay. Yellow pages and the white pages. Ah, okay. Yeah. But now it's just like you have it easier on the phone itself. All right. So I mean, it's a nice edit, apart from the very obvious vignette here, but it's kind of the same feeling in the picture. So they didn't, not a lot of things changed here from one picture to another. This is a little bit darker, a little bit more of a blue hue on there. But I wouldn't say it's more movie-like in that kind of case. It's more like, it's not more film-like in that kind of situation. So maybe, like I said, compare it to other scenes and see what is going on in there, and how colors are used. By the way, there's another film you should watch. This one here. You should really watch this one, like everybody, not just you. I'm not just singling you out. I'm telling everybody to check this out. It's a really, really good video. And this explains why most films use two colors to build up their scene. You can see here, like these two colors in that case, or here. Does it have other color stripes? There's another color stripe you see with this dark brown and the dark green. And is there some more maybe? Yeah, you see also here. So most of them are built up with two colors. And these two colors, they point out something or give you a certain kind of understanding or kind of emotion in the film. They bring the story and the scenes together. Also in movies, like you will see if you watch this movie, the same color scheme isn't used on every part of the movie. Sometimes they use a certain color for just the scenes with the villain, and then other color schemes for the scenes with the hero in it. So you can also like define characters and stuff like that. But it's pretty interesting. And it makes the image a lot more readable and connects the elements better in that. So that's also kind of a good thing. And yeah. It's kind of an important thing, not just in film, but also in photography. And I think like a film can be very inspiring and creative for photography, for the way things are used. Here's another example. There's a lot of different examples here. This one again, you can see like how actually this is really that way. Of course, this is like the classic orange teal look, but still, yeah. They reduce everything to these two colors to bring it closer together and give it also more space, make it less irritating to look at the scene. Okay, good. So we have a lot of stuff. Is anybody writing anything? No. Why? Come on, guys. Write some stuff in here while I'm talking. Good. So, yeah, that would be awesome. So I don't have to remember everything afterwards. Okay. Here is another. Wait, did I jump over something? Maybe. So thank you, Sibi, for this entry. Royce Johnson, train station, South Island, New Zealand. Oh, nice. I want to visit New Zealand. Never been there so far. I've been to Australia, but never New Zealand. Okay. So this is the picture itself, or straighten, sharpen, tone adjustment, dodge and burn and LUTs. So the before you couldn't get to load. But this is more like, if I understand it right, more like a normal photo edit, not the kind of the attempt to make it look more cinematic in the scene. So it's maybe not applying to the challenge of this week, I guess, or at least the colors don't look very cinematic to me in this case. By the way, an easier way to approach this also is with, if you have NIK Collection, the free version or the paid version, it's very easy to create interesting colors and bring also these colors together, or bring everything into two colors. It makes it a lot easier than in Affinity Photo to get a certain look, especially these kind of film looks is very easy with NIK Collection. So that could be good. What is this? Jean-Loup made this one. Gone with the Wind, the remastered version. Wow, that turned out pretty well. That looks actually almost real. That is really nice. Very cool. Very cool edit. Again, not the challenge, but pretty cool. Very good job. Yeah. So it's very nice. And I think in this case, it's even good that they don't fit the ambient light completely, so they actually stand out and can see them better. Really nice how you applied that to the face, and it really looks like it's actually on there. Very good job. JSB said, I know I've mentioned Star Wars before, but a shot from any Star Wars movie made to look 1930s style would be interesting to me. Made to look... Oh, okay. Ad Astra. What does Ad Astra mean? I'm not sure. Is this your picture? No. I'm not sure what your username is on Facebook. Ad Astra. What does that mean? Some kind of Latin? Oh. Oh, that's a movie? Oh, I haven't seen that. Okay. I'm not a moviegoer. That's really strange. It really changed in the last years because you have all this Netflix and Amazon Prime and stuff like that. I kind of don't go to movies anymore, and this is also why I'm really behind all kinds of movies unless they are originals from Netflix or Prime. Then I probably know them. But if it's just cinema movies, I don't know them. Okay, pretty interesting. I have to check that out. Is it a good movie? 6.6 out of 10. Although I kind of find that these mean nothing. Like, there's so many, like, I found a lot of good movies. They have like a 5 rating or something, and they are actually good movies, but the people just didn't like it. So that's interesting. Okay. The film color from Pitch Black is amazing. Yeah, that has a pretty good style. That's true. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So thank you, Jean-Loup and Royce, for these entries. Oh, wow. Okay, so there is one with light here and a light beam there. Pretty nice. The light doesn't look like very light lights, like realistic light. That's what I wanted to say. I should do a tutorial about that too. I did these kind of light streaks. I haven't posted a picture yet, right? I forgot about posting with all this stuff going on Instagram. Let me put this over here real quick. 1 second. Where did I put that? I moved my files around, so now it's a bit harder to find anything. There we go. This one. So I made this one in the last live stream with these light streaks here, and also this light back here to combine. I'm seeing here right now that we have this light streak over the shoe, so that's not a good idea. So there's a little error in there. But I can do a tutorial about that. That was a really interesting process to put the city behind this rider here and the light in here and over there and stuff like that. It was a very nice process. But I really like this kind of apocalyptic feeling in the picture, so that's very nice. Yeah, you just need to play around a little bit more with these kind of light situations here and there. Probably with the blend modes. Also, if you paint in, for example, if you paint something, we can go to Affinity Photo real quick. Oh, it's opening up in the second screen. That's not good. 1 second, there we go. Let's open up something. So one thing you can do is, oh, you see, there's the original rider. And then we also have the original city here. So I didn't delete that yet. Okay, pretty cool. And okay, we can use this picture. It's pretty good. What you can do, that's an easy trick, is if you use any kind of color. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. And let's make this like so. And if I paint on this like so, you can see, we have to make the spacing smaller. So if I paint on this, nothing is happening. If it's like this, because the blend mode of the brush is normal, you see? But you can hear, so the brush itself has its own blend mode, and you can set this also to all these kind of things. And for example, if you set it to screen and you paint, and then you paint on the same one again, you can see how that is getting brighter and brighter. And it has a look of like, there's kind of like a burning light or something, you see? So this is kind of an effect. And the more you do it, the more it gets white in the middle until it's completely white. So this can be something where you can, for example, create kind of a glow effect or something like that. This is something you use in digital painting. And you can play around with this. And you can, of course, also then set this to any kind of blend mode over here to see what kind of effect you get from that yeah, just get the effect you want to have in your picture. All right. Good. So let's go back to the photo. There we go. So the rest, the atmosphere, I really like the atmosphere and the kind of apocalyptic, kind of foggy and bleak, desaturated gray color style is really nice. Just these kind of light effect should be worked on a little bit. Yeah, very nice. I also like how the horizon is a little bit bent to the side, so it's also this kind of out of order situation in the setup. So you don't have this kind of straight horizon. It's just like everything has a little bit of an angle in here. So it's also nice. All right, thank you very much for that, Hamish. The next one is by Joshua, and there we have the original one. Very nice. And this one is, okay, very nice crop, getting in there much closer, much like more personal with the subject. So that's pretty nice. Very nice shot, and also nice colors. Did you like try to brighten the eyes a little bit, because they look like they are brighter but have less contrast than the rest, and also they are a little bit more blue in here, so it feels like you painted a little bit over this area to make it brighter and cooler from the colors than the rest of the face. Yeah, but the rest of the colors is nice. It's maybe a bit too dark and a bit too high contrast because a lot of details get lost over here. Let's see it at the original picture again. Maybe it's also just part of the original picture that it's very dark. Okay, we can't really see that in here. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, so this is already very dark. So probably this is part of the original picture, not of your editing in here. Yeah, very nice. Editing and crop. Pretty cool. Thank you very much, Joshua. Oh, we only have 2 more pictures. Pretty cool. Then we can go on to the next task. Let me close this so I can see the chat here. Yes, the blend mode of a brush. Yeah, Agnes. It's a pretty nice little trick. It's very kind of nice. Okay. Yeah, but maybe I didn't like Marco said. Maybe it's not because of my tutorial, but maybe I didn't explain it good enough to really look out for this kind of thing. This is a picture of the lake in Vevi. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, in Switzerland. Use one of your LUTs adjustments and try to give it a cinematic look. Thanks for your tutorial. You're welcome, Quentin. Thank you very much. Very nice green color. Why is it on a white background? There you have your like logo down here. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. I would have maybe adjusted the colors a little bit better. So it's a nice kind of color situation, but for this picture I would maybe adjust the colors a little bit more. Like if you put the LUT on, I put also this online course with it where I explain a little bit, and I would always go with a LUT to adjust the picture a little bit at the beginning, so you have it like evened out, so it's a bit prepared, and then put the LUT on, and then, for example, use a color balance adjustment to get the exact kind of color feeling in there that you want to have that fits the picture, so they basically come together, you know, so the LUTs and the picture are, how can I say, have the same expression? Is that the right way to say that? But I like it. It has kind of this kind of old schoolish vintage touch, also helped by the design of this kiosk here. So that's very nice. Very interesting. And also with these guys looking out over the lake. Yeah, it has all the elements of a nice film scene. You almost hear that they have kind of a conversation of something, I don't know, divorce or whatever kind of thing going on. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, very nice. Also, this kind of reflection detail is kind of interesting here. Adds a little bit of extra stuff to that. Okay, thank you very much, Quentin. Really cool. And here's the last one from Colin. Let's see. So we have the original picture here. Wow, and the guy here, that's, wow, kind of dangerous, but okay. All right. This is the original picture. And then here we have the edited and cropped picture, which looks nice. Again, vintage look, very cool. I feel like it's maybe it has a little bit too little contrast. I think like the colors would look better, these kind of vintage colors, that they had a bit more contrast. And yeah, but otherwise it's like really interesting. And also I think like with the contrast, maybe it's also in the problem for me with the contrast here is also that you can see these details here, they get kind of lost in here. Like this is now becoming a very kind of flat white surface. The detail is lost, that has this kind of crisp water feeling that is spraying onto the children, which you see here better. Not completely, but you see it better in here. It feels more like water. And here it has become something else. Could also be snow or something else, cotton or something. It doesn't have this kind of water feeling to it. So try to still work out this kind of, that the material kind of feeling is still there, and this kind of motion in the picture is still there, because that's basically the main part of that picture, is this kind of motion of water spraying on the kids. And that's kind of lost through the contrast here. But the colors are nice. And also the cropping of the picture is nice. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Okay, yeah. You could maybe go a little bit higher here, maybe cut a little bit of these details. So maybe cut it down here and then leave a little bit more over here, just for the reason that the water is moving like this. and then it has nowhere to go, so it hits the ceiling up here. And if there's a little bit more like space, like until up here, it has more space to go, more space to move, and then you can really feel the dynamic a lot more. So if you compare it to this one, where there's more space above it, you can imagine where it goes, and like in your brain, the motion is how do you say, extended. And here, if it's the ceiling is so close, it can't extend somewhere. So it's just cut off in your imagination, and yeah, it feels this makes it more dynamic. So maybe the crop, move it up a little bit. All right, good. So we went through all the pictures. Thank you very much for that. Really awesome. Very nice entries this week, and I will think about, we can also, like, if you have suggestions, ideas for the challenge of the next week, you can post it in the chat. We can talk about that. I'm always happy to get some ideas for these challenges, and also get your kind of idea of what you want to do as a challenge is also very important. Okay. I think I said before that I wanted to talk with you about something, but I don't remember what that was. Can't remember anymore. But this time I actually prepared 2 pictures we can work on. And this is this guy here. No, sorry, this scene here. And then also this guy here, which fits from the perspective kind of good. And to just put him in here like he's really big, like he's bigger than the buildings in the background, to have this kind of giant walking through the city kind of feeling. So I thought that could be an interesting task to work on that today. Let's download this stuff real quick here. There we go. This is the first picture. This is the second picture. And then we can also, I want to try this time with this kind of remove background thing. I haven't used it in a while. Build picture upload. Let's see how well it does here. It's actually pretty good. There's a little bit of stuff missing here, but I think we can probably work with that. Yeah, so let's use that. So we save the time on removing the background. Is it? Oh, I'm not logged in. Okay. That's not good. I think I was logged in with Google. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's upload this again. Whoops. It's already here. Download that. 1 credit, yes. Okay. So let's see how good this actually is. Is this downloads? Yes, it's downloads. Okay, cool. All right, so we have already this step finished. So we need this, and I think I will also open up both of the other ones here, just so we have the comparison. And there is some stuff missing from the glasses. It didn't do a super duper job, but it's pretty good still. I think I will put this guy onto this guy here. All right, so we can just refine that selection a little bit on our own. Let's just like add these elements here. I don't think we have to do much to improve this. Wow, this is very like, let's see how good this turned out. It's actually not that bad. Let's subtract a little bit over here so it's a little bit rounder. Okay. What else? This wasn't great here. So it's not always doing the greatest job, but I mean, oh, it actually didn't do a good job at all. Okay, so sometimes it just fails. Oh, that also happens. Boom, okay. What else? Oh my god, it missed a lot of stuff this time. Usually it's better, but, well. I mean, to be fair, these colors are very similar, so. It's a very noisy picture. Yeah, that's true. That's true also. It's a lot of... Okay, let's see. That looks pretty good. Do we need that detail here? Let's just cut it out. There we go. Goodbye. Boom. Don't think anybody's looking for that. Yeah, good enough. Okay, so let's copy this from the background. And then we will copy this over to the other picture. Boom, there we have the guy. All right, so that's already done. And then we have to merge this guy. Does he not fit as good as I remember? Wait a second. Let's turn this upside down. Yeah, that looks good enough. Okay, turn it back. Is that okay, or is he like floating in the air? The perspective doesn't match like 100%. Like this ground is a little bit different from this ground. Yeah, but if we put some shadow down there, I think it's good enough. Let's put him a little bit higher. Okay, good. So we have this. And then let's duplicate the background here and then filter blur average like so, and then put this onto the guy and then soft light. So we have now some ambient light on there. The reason to put it upside down is that you have a better kind of understanding of what is going on. So you have like a certain, how can I say, second perspective that it looks strange to your eyes, but at the same time you can see if the things fit together better, you know? Which also it's like something you normally do when you draw some things, that you put the drawing upside down and then you see a lot of things that are wrong, that looked right in the right direction, and then you put it upside down and suddenly these kind of arrows stand out to you and look really strange. So that often helps a lot with that. Okay, so let's do some... Let's say a curve adjustment on this guy also. Make him a little bit darker. A bit more contrast on the guy. So that already looks okay. Good. And then maybe let's do a color balance. So we can adjust him a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit cooler. Looks good. Yeah, that looks okay. I still feel like he's floating a little bit. Let's make a duplicate of him. So we keep him in this situation, then I can move this second copy around. Let's put him like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's keep it like that for the moment. Yeah, I think the shadow will help a lot also. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Should we do like the classic shadow, like just make a copy of him, or? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's duplicate this again. And then I don't need all of this stuff. Delete that. And then no, we need to arrange and then flip vertically. Yes, okay. I'm always like have a problem with vertical and horizontal, like with the terms that they should be, in my mind, they should be the other way around. Let's probably use a perspective tool here. Let's have a grid so we see a little bit more of what's going on. And then I think I will stretch this guy out like this a little bit. Or maybe not, no grid. Does that look like it makes sense? Feel like this needs to be more over here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's use this. Make a selection. Then we can hide this. And then I will make only on the background a new layer. Set it to soft light. And then I can paint on here. Maybe not with black, but let's go here to maybe a lower opacity. Let's set this to 30% and then make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Oh, we want to feather the selection a little bit. If I find that, there we go. Make it a little bit smoother. Okay, and then let's just paint this in here. Is the shadow darker here or here? I think it's darker here, right? And then it's getting lesser when it's going further away. So this should be a little bit darker here. And also probably here. And this is a very faint shadow that we have here. That should be okay. So let's keep that. I want to make a mask, so I make the mask so I save the selection on this part so I can click on it later on. Let's see. So that's pretty good. And then we want to blur this a little bit the further it gets away. We could do that technically. Let's put this in a group and then use let's use a, where's the box blur? There's the box blur, and do it like so. Does that look good? Not really. That is okay. Multiply and then blur it a little bit harder, like so. Okay, and now here comes the trick. I'm going to, we could either paint on here or we make a gradient. Let's try gradient first. So let's just push this in here and then go from black to white in the gradient. And as you can see, I can now adjust the blurriness with the gradient. Which doesn't look as good as I hoped it would. Maybe set this, go here to grayness. Ah, okay, there's a certain problem here. So maybe not do it like that. Let's undo this stuff here. Because the problem is that this foot is of course higher than the other stuff. So I probably have to paint it in here. Let's see. Black? Yeah. Okay, so maybe make this sharper. And this a little bit sharper, but not too much. This was too much. So this stays blurry, but not the other one. Okay. You can see that? There's a difference now. This is blurry, this is less blurry. And then what we also can do here is, let's take an eraser brush and make it really big. Like so. And opacity is okay. That's maybe a bit too much, but let's see. And then just like, whoa, that was way too much. Okay. And also I just changed something into a pixel layer. Where's my... There's the pixel layer, okay. Let's reduce this from the opacity. Okay, good. So you see like this, it's getting fainter here. It's pretty strong here, so maybe I didn't do a good job. Let's undo this real quick. Let's redo that. Wait, where's my... There we go. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat right now. 1 second. Okay. And then one more thing. Let's put in here maybe a solid fill layer, new fill layer, yes. Put it in here. Does it work like that? Apparently not. Rasterize. We'll probably have to set it to soft light. No, doesn't work either. I can use the mask I created before. Where is it? I think this is the mask. Which doesn't work either. Okay, that's great. Let's just go in here and recolor. Doesn't work either. What? What is going on? Okay, this is better. It's not really what I want. HSL maybe? Is it the only thing I want to do right now is to just give the shadow a little bit of a different color. I'm not sure why this is just in that area, but not here. Why it doesn't like apply to everything the same. Doesn't do anything. Does the road extend downwards? In what way? I'm not sure what you mean. Downwards. It looks pretty good, but only the shadow has the wrong color. So we have to maybe selective color. Blacks. Okay, very strange. Did this change anything or not? Yeah, I make it a little bit warmer. Maybe let's... I want to try one more thing. Let's put this to soft light and then take a brush. And then let's take this light from back here. And then paint over this a little bit. Not really, okay. Let's take this from back here. No, that kind of does... I don't know why, because this is in a group, so this should only apply to this pixel layer, but it doesn't do that. Or maybe I have to push it on here. Oh, okay. That's the thing I should have done. I think that's the... Is it now reacting to that or not? I don't see any reaction. I don't know. It's good enough, I think. Okay. Yeah, he's supposed to be like a giant in this picture, so that's the idea, that he's like really big, like bigger than the buildings around him. So that's the idea here. He isn't supposed to be like fitting in there. He's supposed to be like a giant walking through the city, looking at the... Probably would be better if there's something here in front or something closer to him that points that out. Maybe another person standing here, like someone walking on the street or a cyclist or something. That would make more sense. Yeah. No, but you're right. It's not very apparent that he is like supposed to be that big. I mean, finding a car that fits in the perspective, that would be like under his foot. Someone looking up at him. That's a good idea. Let's see if we can find something like that. There's a guy sitting here, but he can't sit here, so that's a problem. But is she too small for that? Also, she's holding the hands in front of her face. Like, that's a big problem, to find people that have like the right position and the right perspective, and also you see them full body, because often it's just like cut at a certain part. Sorry for that. She would be great, but I don't think we have a full body shot of her, so that's not a good idea. This guy. That's good. He's okay. I mean, he also, like, why everybody is looking up has something over their eyes for some reason. I don't know. Okay, but this is kind of good. So that's a really good idea. Thank you for that. Let's take this guy here and try to fit him into the... Let's this time use the Affinity Photo selection. Perfect. Let's see. Oh, God. Let's remove this. And over here, too. And also these parts here. That's actually pretty decent. Let's have the black and white look. Ooh, okay. Yeah, well, anyways. Let's try this, and we can still paint out stuff if we need to. I don't think we are losing something here. Everything seems to be there from the body. And then we just like adjust that a little bit. Let's put this guy in here. Put him like that, maybe. Is that a good scale? Let's see. If he stands here, usually... How big are English traffic lights? Because in Germany or like in Austria, they're like over your head a lot. Also back here. So this guy probably is what size? Wait a second. So there is this push thing. So you have to reach it with your hands, which means it should be around this size, right? If the guy's standing here. So he can push the button. Means it like is here, right? Or maybe it's a bit higher than hip size. So like that's small, really? Is that the right scale? And then we have a straight line from here. Let's see, over there. So if he stands here, that would be the size. And then if we put him like up front here, he has to be a little bit bigger, maybe like this. Is that a good scale, or is he too small? What would you say? Maybe a little bit bigger? Like so, maybe? Let's hide the big guy. So we have... That looks actually kind of good. If you compare to the people in the background. I think that's a good size for that kind of position in the picture. And also it like really points out the size of this big guy here. Now we have to adjust this guy here a little bit. Where is the layer of him? Oh, that's the... Okay, so let's call this the small dude. Small dude. Okay. Let's go in here and clean him up a little bit. So he doesn't have this kind of shine around him. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff down here. All right. That was pretty quick. And then let's go in here. Go a little bit smaller. Whoa, that is too much. No, come on, don't do it. Okay, that's good enough. Good. So we have this guy in here. Now let's make the background again. We can actually use this one here. Just duplicate that. Boom. Put it on this guy. Didn't work for some reason. Did it work? Oh yeah, it did work actually. Okay, good. Then we want to have curves. Curve, curve, curve. There we go. Adjust this guy real quick. A little bit more contrast on that dude. Like so, looks good. And then also a little bit of color balance. Where do we have that? Here. Let's do anything. Yes. A little bit more blue. Then we can leave that. I feel like the background picture has a little bit of this green tint in there. So that looks kind of good. Yes. And also what we want to add here is a little bit of noise. Does it add noise? Yes. You see, like there's noise here, so now we have kind of the same noise here. So that's helping. We can actually do the same thing on the big dude. So let's duplicate this and put it here on this guy. Is it that guy? No, it's not. Where did I put that? I put it in here. So did we adjust the wrong guy? No. Let's delete this one. I don't think we need that anymore. And, oh, okay, it's on here. Okay, 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 good. So let's zoom out. Yeah, we have to do some more stuff here. That's not good. All right. Why do you make a background for the boy? What background? What do you mean with background for the boy? I should put the boy somewhere else because this is not good. So let's flip this horizontally this time and then move it here in a straight line. Because now there's, like, you can see he's a lot more readable, so that's better. Easier to see him. And then we want to also make a shadow for him. Let's duplicate that dude. Delete all of the rest of the stuff and then arrange, flip vertically, move that down here, a perspective tool, and then go out here, stretch him. Let's see, the sunlight is coming from here, so we probably want to stretch him like this. Let's make this a little bit smaller, probably not that kind of super long. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Also, he's way too high up. Let's put him like so. The gray layer. What do you mean by the gray layer? I'm not sure. What do you mean? Why do you make a background for the boy? The gray layer. I'm not sure. Oh, this is the ambient light. Yes, I copied this one. This is the ambient light. So this is just like an average blur of the original picture in the background. And then I blend this with soft light blend mode. And this makes it look like ambient light. Okay. Let's make a selection of this and then make it feathered a little bit, like so. I feel like something is off here, by the way. Let's not do this. 1 second. Let's stretch this out because the perspective tool doesn't make the legs longer. So let's make these legs longer, like so maybe. That could be okay. And then maybe skew them over a little bit so they follow the sunlight. If you have a line here, that should be okay. Good. So again, control click to select, then select feather, radius, maybe let's make it 4 so it's softer. Then we can hide this, and then we go back here again, make a new layer, and then we just paint this in with we set this to soft light. Let's go here and then simply paint this in like so. Oh, this is set to screen. No wonder it didn't work before. I forgot to set it back. Okay. All right, so like this. I mean, maybe I should keep it like that. Like a sharper. This shadow kind of looks better like the other blurry shadow I created. Let's see with this one, and then we make this just softer, like so. And maybe have this blur, let's turn it on again, and then just make it like so, like just a little bit. That's actually not that bad. Okay, cool. And then this is the blur of the other guy. Let's do this here too. Box. There's box. The reason I'm using box is because box shadow is very easy on the computer. It doesn't need a lot of calculation. So it saves a little bit on CPU power. And then let's just like brush this in here a little bit. Okay, so that was easier. That was a lot faster already. So now we have this dude in here. So that looks pretty good. Something else we want to do. I feel like on this dude here, the small dude, first of all, we can delete this. And then let's make a layer here. Also soft light. And let's see with a small brush if we can paint on some of these elements. Let's make the opacity 15%. Make this bright. And then let's see if I paint on these elements here. You can see like this is like dodge and burn. And I just make some elements brighter here. And then we can also make some other elements darker here. This was maybe a little bit too big, too much here. Okay. Then create some for vibrance. Okay. I just want this guy to be like, you see, where did I do this right now? This one, these two. You see, if you turn this on and off, you now see the blue a lot better from his jacket, so this guy stands out a little bit better. Like here you can hardly see him, and now you can actually, like, you look at him a lot more. So that's basically the only reason to do that. Nah, that's, I mean, should we do something else maybe? Kind of happy with that. Maybe readjust the guy here a little bit. Let's see, let's turn this off. Or maybe make a second adjustment. Selective color. Go to the neutrals. No. Yes. Okay, just so like he's a little bit cooler from the colors. And we could paint some light elements on him from back here. So this is like a little bit glowy on the pants. Let's see if we can do that or not. Yeah, let's give it a try. 1 second. So let's try this like bright sunlight here. No, that's too small. Maybe we can set this to screen now. Let's try this. Maybe give this a bit of a more intense orange. Okay. And eraser. God. Let's make this a bit softer. Sorry, this is like, I'm not sure if this works at all. Okay, that was wrong. Maybe we should just make a selection around that. That was okay. That was bad. You know what? Let's make a selection here. Because we already have it. Invert that selection. That makes a lot more sense. Don't have to be that careful now. Okay, so now we have this. Let's see it in big. Let's play around with the blend modes here. Yeah, this kind of line painting stuff is not really my strong area. Sometimes it works great. Whoops. Sometimes it works great and sometimes it doesn't work at all. Is this the eraser? Yes. I should do this a lot more often to get better at that. So let's see. Where is the layer? Is this the layer here? Let's make a new one. Ah, there we go. Maybe we skip that detail. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it's not amazing. Should we just skip that? I mean, it adds some kind of nice detail. I have to get really better at that. 3 or 4 looks and still I am not satisfied with what I did. Yeah, same thing here. It looks better with it. Okay, so let's try a quick version of that on the second leg. Like, always getting better a little bit. Okay, so let's do this again. Should there be light here? I mean, the light is coming from back there, so I guess, and now we could probably use these colors because we already have kind of figured them out. So let's see. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And then first just put a shine on here. Way too big shine. This is something I really want to learn, and I never kind of find the time to get into that. Because it's such, you can do so amazing things with that, but... Okay. So that's the second one. We have to delete this on the hand. It doesn't make much sense here. And then let's play around with it. What did I use a blend mode the last time? Screen, hard light. Let's check this out. So we have one hard light. Let's see this. No, not this time. Let's make one screen and let's duplicate this. Whoa, wow, okay. Yeah, that's getting in the right direction. So let's group this and then HSL on here. Play a little bit around with that. Okay. And then maybe make it a little bit weaker. Which it doesn't... Oh, I'm in the wrong one. All right. And then another thing I want to do here is to go back here now. And then take the brush again. Did something now change? There was like an information from the... Something changed right now. Something turned pixel, right? Well, I can't see it. Never mind. Okay, let's go like this and then dark. And then we go here and just make this part here darker in the background. Just this building here. Why did it get brighter again? 1 second. What? Oh, I'm using screen again. Sorry for that. Let's make it even darker. And maybe also over here. No, not like that. just like so. Okay, good. So the reason I do that is you can see now I have a lot more contrast between the leg and the background. So you can see this line actually better than before, you see? Here it's kind of hard to see, they're the same brightness, and here you can actually now see the shine around the leg. We probably want to have, let's set this lower here, and then just paint here a little bit so there's like a softer edge. All right, very nice. We could technically also put a little bit of that light up here on his head. Let's make a selection again and then make one more of those. I should really start to name my layers. I'm setting a really bad example here right now. I have no idea what is what. So this is the small dude, and this is like, okay, this is the left leg, and this is then the right leg. Right leg, there we go. Okay, and then we just paint in here a little bit. I think we still, do we still have the right, this is the same color I think, right? Let's set this to screen already, and then also screen here. Let's just paint a little bit in here, see what happens. Okay. Let's see. Play around with the blend mode. This looked actually pretty nice. Let's duplicate this. Set the second one to screen. No, maybe not. Put them together. HSL. Put this in here. Nah, this didn't work quite as good. It just looks like he's a redhead right now. Let's put some more details in here. Maybe make a new layer. Set it to, let's set it to screen. Is it? Oh, I'm on the razor. Okay, so that couldn't work. Oh no, the light is coming from below. No, that's not good either. One second. Sorry, I'm just like overdoing this part here right now. It looks stupid. Just want to put a little bit of a highlight here, but I'm not sure if I'm doing a great job with that. Ugh. Okay. That was terrible. This is a little bit better. Let's put an HSL here too. Just on this part. Is it even visible now? Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. So, yeah, you can't see it in the full picture, but okay, that's it. Enough time wasted. Is that good, or is it like something else we should do here? The light painting is horrible. I know it should be like a lot better. I have to train that. It would be really cool if I could put some cool lights here and on the sole of the shoe, stuff like that. I have to really train that a lot more. But, I mean, the guys in there, we have the scale now, so that's pretty cool. Probably next time we should try a guy who is even bigger in the picture, but yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, thank you, JB. Yeah. All right, so this was the first one. I really have to train this kind of light painting. It always like annoys me that I can't do it good enough. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's better when it's like a dark picture and like fuzzy background or fuzzy things like the moss in the other picture, because then it's a lot easier to do that. Let's save this here. I don't know even where to save that. Where did I put that stuff here? Instagram here. Let's put that here. All right, what else should we do today in the stream? We're already at 2 hours 30, so I want to keep it at 3 hours. So we could talk for half an hour, or we can try something else. Or, by the way, I want to show you something that I, like a little kind of cute trick I saw today. Make up, let's see. We can do that real quick. It's pretty easy and fast. We only need to find a face. 1 second. That's good. Okay, so this is kind of a, it's not super amazing, but it's a cute little trick you can do. Let's close this stuff here. So what you can do is basically, let's open this up. You just put a layer on here for black and white, like this, and then of course do the adjustments. You can see here how the lips come back. So you play around with these kind of values here until the black and white picture looks good. Let's go like this. And then the simple thing you do is you just paint in here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. That's even still too small. Even too small. Yeah, that's good. And then you basically just paint in here with black on that. You can see like low opacity, soft hardness. And I can now go in here and let's say, let's make this a little bit smaller still. And I paint a little bit like that. Like in an uneven way maybe. So it looks like she's just like putting on like that, and then you can go with white and make this 100%. and make it smaller, and then just paint in the other way kind of things you want to remove, like down here, for example, this part here, like so. And maybe also this part, so everything else is black and white. Maybe we want to have more black in this kind of area where the brush is. And so you have this kind of effect like she's painting on her own face. You see, like giving color to her own face like that. So that can be like, it's just like a fun thing you can do that makes it look like you paint color into the picture, or the person in the picture paints the color into the picture. So that can be interesting kind of effect. All right, well, just like a little trick. Okay. Good. So what else can we talk about? What else could we do? We didn't put our special gradient over it. Totally forgot about that. Let's do this real quick. Let's see if this improves the image. Where do I have my gradients? There we go. Let's start with this one and then rotate that. So last touch here. Let's set this to soft light. Yeah. Okay, we can play around with this a little bit. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Ooh. Always a fan of violet and pink. It brings the noise out way too hard, so we had to reduce the noise if we use that, apparently. That's not too bad. It's a little bit too violet in the upper part, so we could maybe change this to another color. And this makes it too dark now. Let's go over here. Move this around a little bit. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. Kind of like it. Let's reduce this maybe a little bit. Like so. I feel like that's a lot better now. You see, this is without it and this is with it. I feel like this makes a lot of difference. Makes it a lot easier, a lot more interesting. Wow, I can't talk anymore. Okay, let's save this. All right. Which kind of effect will be if you black and white layer blend mode change to soft light? Interesting. Let's have a look at that. Let's change this to soft light. No, because then you like kind of, let's turn this on and off. It gives it more contrast, which is also kind of a nice effect you can do with that for photo editing. This would also be like an interesting tutorial, right? Like I say, it's a nice little trick to have this kind of black and white and have it as soft light. And then you can go per channel to adjust things. As you can see now, it's just only the red parts in the picture. And now it's just only the yellow parts in the picture. And you can do some interesting adjustments with that. And you have this kind of more high contrast look in the picture afterwards. Like this. It's kind of a nice look also. You have this and this afterwards. It's nice, it's easy, and it's kind of more this kind of, yeah, like I said, high contrast look. So that could be interesting actually to do that. And you can also like reduce it in the opacity, so we can, yeah, I will write it down. It's actually a good idea. Whoops, what happened? There we go. Okay. Black and white, high contrast look trick with soft light, blend mode. All right, okay. I think I'm forgetting something that I wanted to talk about. Not sure right now. Let's see if some people want to join. 4 people want to join. That's always good. Okay. And please remember to also join the newsletter if you want to. That would be good. Where's the chat? There we go. So have a look at this. Boom. It will pop colors. No, pop colors is that you duplicate. You duplicate the background layer like the original picture. You duplicate that and then set this to soft light, and this kind of pops it. You can see. So that's very easy to do that with the, but just with a color picture, like with the original color picture. Yeah. All right. Good. So check this out. Join my newsletter. And I wanted to talk about something else. I don't know what it is. I should really write these things down. Yeah. But we can still chat if you have some other questions or things. I have no idea what to talk about. What was it? There was something. No, I can't remember right now. Let's see. Okay. I don't know, because I want to keep these streams at like 3 hours. So I'm not going to do another photo edit right now. Maybe we could talk about these kind of concepts of what kind of course could I do, like online course. Like, do you like this kind of idea of it not like this would be, for example, a good thing to talk about. Like, I want to do this more integrated thing where you have a Facebook group and then there's also live streams and learning materials and learning videos. So it's integrated and you learn with the community at the same time. But what would be a good time frame? What would you think is a good thing? Could you talk about selection? I want to actually make a video about that. Like I made, the last video was about creating selections with curves or a curve mask, basically. And I will do other videos about selections, on how to refine selections or when to use what kind of selection. That would be good. I also thought maybe that would be an interesting online course to go through the different, like, this would then not be this kind of online course where you need a guided group. It's more like a course that you just have different videos you can watch. And just to go through all the different kinds of selection you can do with the color channels, with the refine brush, with the curves, with the lasso tool, and when would you use what kind of selection? How would you refine that? What's the benefit, like the upside, the downside of the different selection methods? This could be an online course, basically. Another would be integrating textures to faces. What do you mean by textures to faces? Lab mode editing. I have to, like, yeah, that would also be interesting, lab mode editing. Although I have to read up on that myself. Remove backgrounds. Selecting hair is always complicated, especially in Affinity Photo. Like, this selection brush is not the most amazing thing, so that's pretty complicated unless you have a high contrast. Like, if there's a bright background and you have dark hair, that's easier. But if you have like a brown hair and brown background, that's pretty complicated for the software to do. Just adding interesting textures to the face. I'm not sure how to use that. Like, there's a let me write this down real quick. Selection types online course. That could be a thing. There's a tutorial on YouTube of a guy who puts a flag on a face. This one. But this is done in Photoshop. And Photoshop has a lot better liquify function that can really like do good following of the surface. You can really put that in there. And also the displacement works a lot better. So in Photoshop, it's easy to do that, like the effect you see here. But in Affinity Photo, it's pretty hard to do that because the tools just don't have this kind of way where you can easily follow the surface of an object. So it makes it a lot harder to do that. Yeah. We can do like an apply a tattoo thing to the... Oh, you can't see it. I'm sorry, you can't see it. Let's switch over. I mean this one here. This one, the top one. You can't even see it good right now, but can I zoom in here? No, it doesn't. Oh, it does, yes. This one, this kind of effect. Whoops. Affinity Photo, Photoshop is great at that. Affinity Photo not so much. To bend this to make it look easy. You can do it, but you have to have like a lot of experience for that. So that's a little bit of the downside. You see like how this follows the nose and the eye area with the where it says Mets, the text that's bending. This kind of displacement. That's not that easy in Affinity Photo. Okay. Let's switch over again. What else do you say? Sorry, I have to go back into the... Oh yeah, lab mode. So I will write it down, lab mode, as a tutorial. And then removing backgrounds. I mean, I made a video about that, but we can do remove background with painting mask afterwards, because this is something is really helpful, like I did in this video today, that you make a basic selection, and Affinity Photo always gives you this kind of noise on the edge of the selection. And then if you just take a brush and paint around it, you can get a really nice sharp selection. And it's easy. It's not that time intense as you have seen if I've done it today. And often the selection doesn't have to be super exact, because the person or the object you select merges with the background anyways, and often the background is noisy anyways, unless you put the person on a really exact one color background and then you see all the noise. But usually if you put it on a road or a forest or anything, that has a noisy texture anyway, so there shouldn't be a problem with that. If you apply a gradient and you see these colors, these lines, that is called banding. Did I make a tutorial about that? Let me see. I could also, that's a good thing, because I need to make more single purpose tutorials. Banding. No, I don't think I have that in here, so let me write that down. Avoid color banding. And color banding simply means that if you think about your screen and it goes from left to right, has a certain width, usually each color only has 256 values. Now the screen has a width, so that means that you will really quickly have color steps that are bigger. And if you go into a darker area where it's more apparent, you suddenly end up with just having like, if, for example, you go from black to, or you go from a dark violet to a little bit darker violet, and suddenly you only have like 5 different colors or 10 different colors, and you spread it out over your screen, suddenly you have these huge bands that are a single color and that are really apparent. But it's really easy to get around that. It's just you you change the bit depth of your picture from 8-bit to 16-bit, and then suddenly you have a lot more colors. And then when it's saved again in 8-bit, but it will simulate it's called what is it called? Is it called diffusion? I can't remember the right term right now, but it sprinkles individual, like it's still only 2 colors, but it sprinkles them, these individual 2 color pixels in between, so it looks like a soft gradient, although it's just 2 colors. So why the software doesn't make it on its own like that? Hopefully do it in the future, but right now you have to just change the bit depth and then change it back afterwards. But it's good to make a video about that. That's actually a good topic. All right. Create, not cream. That's okay. Don't worry. Okay. I can write down tattoo, for example, make a realistic tattoo. That could be like a structure on the face, like a texture on the face, if that's interesting. And yeah, if you have other ideas. Did I write down? Oh yeah, remove background. I wrote that down. Yeah. So I also want to look at my old videos, because often I have some really interesting bits in there, this kind of secret sauce bits, and then I didn't make an individual video about this, just this kind of thing. Oh, by the way, let's switch over to the work view again. Like before, I'm not sure if this person is still here, but someone was asking about this kind of mask thing. So I think what I did there is that I used it like this, and then I put it like so, and then I set this to erase. Is that right? Yes, and you can see now this stamps a hole into the picture. So, and this is only applied to this part of the picture, sorry, to this element, to this layer. This is why I make it a child of that layer, because it would also work like this, but now it's limited to that layer. And the reason is like, sorry, if I make a rectangle here and I set the rectangle to black, and then I pull this on here with the blend mode erase, I put this on here, you can see now that this is only applied to the black layer and not to the picture in the background. And now I can blur all of this, and this is like this kind of way to create a custom vignette like this. And you can now set this to, I don't know, multiply or darken or any kind of blend mode you wish, or just reduce the opacity, and then you have this. But like we have seen before, you have to really be careful that the blending, the blur is strong enough so you don't have this kind of egg effect here. So you set this maybe, let's see, to 300 or 400, like so, and now it's softer. So this is kind of the downside, that you have to check this out, and often it's kind of hard to see. Let's go to 500, and this is kind of better. And now you have like an individual, you can do any kind of shape for the vignette, not just an ellipse. You can also do a square vignette, or kind of any kind of shape you want, a heart shape vignette, whatever you want to do. All right. Did I? Yeah, you can see the screen. Okay, that's good. Whew. All right. What's the time? We still have 10 minutes. Anything else? Light painting. I made one tutorial about how to paint this light thing, but it's not as good because I'm not good at it myself, so I have to train for that. But I can write that down. Get good at light painting, then make a tutorial. There we go. Okay. I mean, I could also make a tutorial on ways where light painting is easy to do, and what kind of things to look out for, because like you can see with the Patronus effect that I've shown you before, it looks pretty good because there is more fuzzy. So this is always kind of a trick. If things are a lot easier to do if you have just a vague idea or a weak idea of how they actually should look. And this is why, for example, it is a lot easier to draw an alien on a paper than drawing a human face or a hand, because we know from everyday experience how a face and a hand looks, but we don't know what an alien looks like. So whatever kind of shape you draw there, it looks kind of realistic because we don't have a comparison. And so if you draw on these kind of objects where you don't exactly know how they should look in light, it's a lot easier compared to drawing light on a hand, which, by the way, I, of course, did a tutorial where I drew light on a hand, which was, of course, really stupid to do that. Yeah. Oh, I'm so kind of, how do you say, sore throat today from talking. I don't know why. Okay. And like I said, join my... Oh, this is something we can point out as long as people are still here. Have a look at this. So on my Facebook group, when you join, we have units here. That's pretty important. That's a new thing. And you can click here, and there you can go through these units. There is even 2 more. So you can see I created a welcome video to explain what is the group, thank you for joining, these kind of things. It's just a short video, I think a minute or so. And then there's a tour of this group that shows you where is what, how to use that. You will find out a lot on how to use these Facebook groups, which is really interesting. I didn't know some stuff like that until recently either. So I put this kind of knowledge in there because it's really good to understand how the groups work and to get the most out of that. And you can join my newsletter, follow me on Instagram. And also here's the introduce yourself post, which is very nice because everybody can now like say hello to the other members in the group and also write a little bit about them. And afterwards, if you have done one unit, if you have like finished that, you can click on done here, and this will just fill up the unit line. If you go back to units, you can see here this will then fill up and finish. And I will also add a second unit where you have like essential things to know about Affinity Photo, like a basic introduction and a basic introduction to photography. And also I think I will include basic introductions to how to install LUTs and gradients and stuff like that, which is asked a lot because a lot of my products are like that. And there is videos. I have created online courses, but not everybody is watching these videos. So it's good to have like just a way where you can look at that. All right. Okay, I think. Hey Sambit, how you doing? Thanks for joining. You're basically reaching the end of the stream right now. Yeah, I also love LUTs. So that's pretty yeah, they are really cool. You can do some really awesome stuff with that. I should use them more often in my live stream, to be honest. I use the gradients so much, but the LUTs not so often. I should really do that more. Okay. Have you tested Lumina and NIK collections? Have those edge tool? I'm looking tool that I can do edges with color or set with. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Don't worry, Sambit. Don't worry. It's okay. Thanks for joining anyways. An edge tool. What does that mean, an edge tool? You mean like find edges? Is that what you mean? I'm not sure if they have that. NIK, I don't think Luminar has that. Maybe NIK Collection can find edges. And then what you want to do with that, you want to colorize the edges or something like that. I'm not sure. You mean like an outline around a shape? So Usually I would make a selection by hand and then create an outline from that selection. I'm not sure if that is what you're looking for. Maybe you can explain it a little bit better. Or do you mean this kind of glow effect? But that's a specific software. I think this is like Topaz Labs that makes this kind of, you have a normal picture of a person or an animal, and then it turns into these kind of flowing neon light effects. But that's something that's like a specific tool from Topaz Labs. I don't think you can do that with other software that easily. Yeah. Detect edges, but Affinity Photo can detect edges. Like, not detect edges, but let's see. If you have this picture here, and then you go to filters, and you go to detect, and then to detect edges. So that's, I'm not on the layer right now. There we go. Filter, detect edges. And then it does something like this, which you could probably use that as a mask. I'm actually not sure what to do with this. This has some purpose, I guess. I'm not sure what the purpose is. Let's duplicate this and then view. No, sorry, detect edges. And now if I blend this somehow, maybe. I don't know. I have actually no idea what to do with detect edges. I could write this down. What is detect edges good for? That could be also a tutorial. Maybe I find something out. It's really interesting. What would you? How are you using that? When you're using that? It's used for sharpening, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay. Let's write here in brackets sharpening. But is it like, why wouldn't you use an unsharp mask instead? Does it have any kind of benefit over an unsharp mask? I think I can remember that in the old days, before there was the unsharp mask function, I think we did use detect edge, and then I think you invert it and set it to a certain blend mode, and this sharpens these kind of parts of the image through the blend mode, right? But this is basically the same thing that the unsharpen mask does. No, wait a second. You use the edge detection and make a selection from that, and then use the sharpening tool with the mask that you have created through the edge detection. That was it. But that's the same thing that the unsharpened mask does, but just with one adjustment. You don't have to go through all these kind of steps. What did you say, Martin? You make it a mask and then sharpen. Yeah. I can remember that. I did this when I was studying. It's like 20 years ago or something. When it was like the very first versions of Photoshop, and there wasn't an unsharpened mask. But unsharpened mask is actually that. It's more precise, really? I have to make a comparison between that. Okay. So, wait a second. I have to write that down. Edge detect as mask for sharpening versus unsharpen mask. Okay. And oh yeah, sharpening tricks. That could be something, because there is some other functions, like for example, you can use contrast to sharpen things. That's pretty interesting. And in some areas, like for example, macro photography, that works pretty good. Like if you use stuff like structure and clarity and contrast, you can actually make certain parts of the image look crisper and sharper than other parts, and so you can highlight different kind of things. I use that in my macro photos for highlighting, for example, the little hairs that the bumblebees have on their backs, and it looks really great. And it's better than sharpening because it's softer and you see the structure of the material better than with just sharpening. So that's a pretty interesting thing to do. That's actually interesting tutorial also. So that's some pretty good ideas there. Okay, so with edge detect you can paint on the mask to edit it. But if, I mean, these edges, they are really like fine details. If you paint on that, would you use like a super small fine brush to do that, or how would you use that? I think I have to watch some videos about that. Sharpening colors. Interesting. I've never heard about that. If you use unsharpened mask in lab instead of sRGB, it's sharpening without changing the colors. Interesting. Huh. Okay. You just use unsharpened mask. I see. Okay. Interesting. Let me write this down too. Unsharpen mask in lab does not change color, question mark. Okay, so I have to figure that out too. Whew, okay. A lot of interesting ideas. By the way, did anybody write anything into that document or not? Recap? Oh, a little bit. Okay, interesting. No, not really. Slide graphics. You just left your email address and the question. That's completely not what this is for. Anyways, I will just like remember some important parts and put it in the mail. Okay. Thank you very much for today. I think we are at 3 hours. Yeah, we are at 3 hours. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's kind of, I'm not sure if this is a good idea to ask the community to write some bullet points there. Yeah, so apparently doesn't work that good. Yeah, okay. But never mind, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching today. It was a pretty awesome live stream. Thank you also for the entries for the challenge. Oh, by the way, this is what I wanted to ask you. Any ideas for a good challenge? What would you think? Is it like, could we do for next week as a challenge for Affinity Photo and for live streams and stuff like that? What would be a good idea? The gray and orange look as a challenge? That could be something. Yeah, that's a good idea. I was thinking about it last time, but I thought maybe it's too easy or so. And kind of hard to give feedback to, but still we can do that. And also I have a tutorial about that. I try to connect the tutorials better to the challenges. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Thank you, Carlos, that you enjoyed that. That's always good. Yeah. Gray and orange look in lab mode. But I've never touched lab mode in my tutorials. So this is a topic that is really like, I don't have any materials about that I can show my community. So I would first have to do a tutorial about that and then create a challenge from that. Nah, it's okay. I will come up with some ideas. Okay. Good. So I guess you can send me some. Yeah, you can send me some slides. What does it mean, some slides you made? You can post it in the Facebook group. Let me link the Facebook group real quick before we finish the stream. Really enjoyed today the live stream with you. And the editing and the talking, really very cool. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, again, join my newsletter. Let me link that also before I go? A little bit of self-advertisement. There we go. Boom. Okay. Yes, you can also post that on Facebook or write me a message on Facebook. That's also okay. If you have any ideas for the challenge. Okay, awesome. Good. Thank you very much for everybody who was part of this live stream. It was awesome as always, and see you in the next tutorial or in my Facebook group. And have a nice night or day depending on where you are. Good. And of course, stay safe. Have a good night. Bye.